Dear viewers, wish you a happy new year 2026. However, I feel very sad to deliver today's video, and today's topic is why are people being burned alive today? Bangladesh was a land of culture, so why are people being burned alive today? So I'm Somnath Bhattacharya. So I just wanted to introduce this video, a shock to human conscience. There are moments when humanity is forced to pause and look into a mirror. Moments when a single incident exposes something deeply broken, not just in a system but in our collective conscience. The recent killing of a man in Bangladesh, lynched by a mob and burnt alive over an unproven accusation, is one such moment. This is not a crime committed in secrecy. It was public, brutal, and merciless. And what makes it even more painful is not only how he died, but where this happened. This happened in Bangladesh, a country that once supported cultural richness, intellectual depth, and moral courage. A land that taught the world poetry, music, resistance, and humanization. Today, the same land is being forced into global headlines for reasons that should shame us all. The video is not an attack on a religion. It is not an attack on ordinary citizen. This is a human right prospect, a demand for justice, and a question that must be asked loudly. What is happening to Bangladesh as a human level? The incident when law disappears. According to multiple reports, the victim belonged to a minority community. He was accused of offending religious sentiment, an accusation that was never proven in a court of law. In any civilized society, such an accusation would lead to questioning, investigation, and legal process. Instead, it led to something far darker. A mob gathered. Anger replaced reason. Numbers replaced responsibility. He was assaulted, beaten, humiliated, and finally his body was set on fire, burnt alive. This was not justice. This was not faith. This was mob rule. The most dangerous form of power because it has no face, no accountability, and no remorse. When mobs are allowed to kill, the rule of law collapses, and when the rule of law collapses, no one is truly safe, majority or minority. Why? This is a human right crisis. As its core, this is a human right catastrophe. The right to life is the foundation of all rights. Without it, freedom of speech, religion, or identity means nothing. International human rights principle exists precisely to prevent this kind of barbarity where accusation becomes execution. What is most disturbing is not only the act itself, but the silence that follows. Outrage fades. News cycles move on, but for the family of the victim, time has stopped forever. When the world looks away, it sends a clear message. Some lives are easier to ignore. Remembering the Bangladesh that once was, to understand why this incident feels like a betrayal, we must remember Bangladesh's past. The land was once the heart of Bengali culture, a civilization built on literature, music, philosophy, and education. Bengal gave the world Rabindranath Tagore, whose words spoke of universal humanity, not division. His poems and songs were not about fear or hatred, but about dignity, freedom, and the unity of mankind. Bangladesh has produced great writers, thinkers, singers, and artists who shaped South Asian culture. Bengali folk traditions like Baul philosophy spoke about the divine within every human being, rejecting rigid division of caste, creed, and identity. Education was respected, debate was encouraged, ideas mattered. Politically, too, Bangladesh was born out of resistance to oppression. The liberation struggle of 1971 was not just about border, it was about identity, language, and dignity. Secularism and pluralism were part of founding vision. The history matters because what we see today stands in direct contrast to it. The slow shift from culture to fear. So what changed? Over the decades, political instability, economic pressure, culture and the rise of religious extremism began to erode the social fabric. When extremist ideologies were allowed to grow unchecked, they do not stop at one community. They poison the entire society. Moderate voices become afraid to speak. Intellectuals retreat. Fear becomes normal. Violence against minorities become routine news. Accusations replace evidence. And mobs begin to believe they are above the law. This is not the Bangladesh Tagore imagined. This is not the Bangladesh that fought for dignity. This is not about religion. It is about extremism. It must be said clearly and responsibly. This is not about a particular religion. It is not about a particular sect of people as a whole. Millions of people around the world condemn mob violence and stand for peace. This is about extremism, about radical elements that misuse religion as a weapon. When religion is turned into a tool for violence, it loses its moral core. When leaders fail to condemn such acts strongly, they indirectly legitimize them. And when society tolerates mob justice, it begins to decay from within. Extremism does not build nation, it destroys them. So, what this means for Bangladesh today? What happened to this mean is a warning sign. It signals that minorities feel unsafe. It signals that law enforcement is under pressure. It signals that fear is replacing coexistence. A country that once inspired respect risk becoming isolated. A society known for culture risk begin known for cruelty. And once that reputation takes root, it is very hard to erase. Bangladesh deserves better than this. Its people deserve better. Its history demands better. So why your anger is justified? If this story makes you angry, that anger is justified. Not because of hatred, but because of moral outrage. Anger that comes from empathy is necessary. It pushes society to reform. History shows us that happens when such violence is normalized. We have seen it before in different countries under different names, and every time it began with silence. Silence is not neutrality. Silence is surrender. A demand for justice. Justice here does not mean revenge. It means accountability. It means transparent investigation, real punishment for perpetrators, and strong protection for minorities. It means leaders must speak clearly, not carefully. It means citizens must choose humanity over fear. This is not just about one man. It's about what kind of future Bangladesh chooses. A conclusion, a final question. Bangladesh once taught the world songs of unity, poems for freedom, and the power of culture over cruelty. Today, the world is asking a painful question. How did a land of learning become a land where a man could be burnt alive? This question must not go unanswered. Share this video, talk about this incident, demand justice, because when humanity is attacked anywhere, it concerns us everywhere.